All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Hope everyone had an amazing morning so far. I hope you had an amazing day yesterday. Um, I'm sure we're all probably watching Tesla this morning. Just been unbelievable the last couple of minutes here trying to crack 910. So again, just an amazing stuff going on there with Tesla. I actually woke up this morning. That was the first stock I pulled up. I had my phone next to me. Like, let me pull up Tesla, see what's going to open up today. Not expecting what I saw this morning. So, good morning, guys. Welcome to the pre-market show. Let's get started. Let's look at what we had yesterday. Starting here with obviously Tesla. So this is the action from. Let's get here our 1 minute from yesterday morning. Kind of go over a few of these stocks that we had on watch and how they traded. So let's head back. Oops, right over here. Here we go. There it is. So here's the action from yesterday on Tesla. Again, another great day, guys. Beautiful opening range breakup on the 5 minute. What I love about this opening range breakup here on the 5, guys, is that it's breaking out of an area of resistance. This 679 that we had on here, high of the pre-market, all-time high at that time, breaks out of that nicely and then never looks back. So nice opening range breakup on the 5. You get a nice pullback too if you're doing the 1 minute opening range breakout. You can see a nice pullback here on that 2nd minute candle, and then it takes off, never looking back. Again, Tesla's just really strong, really parabolic at this point. And yeah, I agree, Jazz. This thing will probably hit 1K today the way it's trading. I mean, it's just unbelievable. From there, guys, very strong. Had a nice rejection here. Obviously, some profit taking, people bailing out, but it does hold the 9 EMA, and it continues to follow the 9 EMA all the way up to 790 yesterday into the afternoon. So again, just very strong Tesla. This is a stock, guys, you want to be very careful shorting. This is not something you want to be stuck short for a very long period of time, because every time it finds some kind of base, it is squeezing higher and higher. Here's PCG yesterday. This is the one I traded. PCG popped up. Didn't have a great price action. So I kind of regret getting into it. After I got into it, really died down. No volume here. So I got into for the opening range breakup on the 5. Took some off here. Then the rest got out at break even. Just really came back down on me. So didn't really have a lot going on there for PCG. Eventually in the day after it did this, kind of met with the VWAP and some other moving averages down here. It did hell. And I remember looking at it during lunchtime, and man, this thing just traded very well after that. Very nice here, getting a pop over 17.30. But what I liked about PCG, we were looking for it to break out of this level here. This 16.38 was the level we wanted to break out of. That was the high of the pre-market. But again, just didn't have a good opening at all on PCG. Next, we had AIMT. This was the one that I regret not trading, guys. This is the kind of short stuff I look for. Look at this beautiful opening range breakdown on the 5. Now, what I like about this one is you do get a nice pullback here. It is extended quite a bit, but if you look at the way this candle formed, let's look at it in the 1 minute. You can see the drop down here, a beautiful pullback, and then drops right back down. Then here, it cannot hold this 33.69. It cannot make a new highs higher, lower highs here, holding against this level, and then the snap. I remember looking at it right here. I'm like, oh man, this could be a good entry for a short here. I hesitated. I didn't take the trade. And look at this beautiful drop all the way down to 32 bucks. So again, nice drop there. And it is a big move. Might not seem like it here, but guys, we're going from 34.25, 34.10 all the way down to 32. So again, it's a $2 drop there on AIMT. From there, it just becomes a little bit choppy. Does hold 32, never loses 32. You can see here holding nicely. Did give you some opportunities for reversal, but then right back down against that 32 again. GILD, I didn't watch the price action closely on this one, so I'm not sure how it traded. Volume seemed very light, so I didn't really focus on this one. But looking at it now, it didn't look like it traded very well or very clean. So again, not much to speak on this one here. Roku was nice, guys. Look at this beautiful opening range breakup. And again, what I love here is this 124 level that we had. So let's see how that traded on the 1 minute. Breaks out of it, comes down and retest. Here's the pullback. The pullback does happen within that 5-minute candle, right? So you see the pullback happening here. That's okay, right? It's not always you don't always have to wait for the pullback to happen on the next 5-minute candle. Does pull back nicely, holds the moving average in the VWAP. This is a great entry here. Usually when a opening range breakup is paired by an ABCD pattern at the open, that is also a good indication of a strong move towards whatever size going, whether long or short or reverse ABCD pattern. Here, beautiful breakout above this 124. The retest does hold, and then a nice, beautiful pop to making new highs here over to 127. So again, Roku was very nice yesterday. Traded very clean. LK was another one that, again, also traded very nice. Gave you a tough time at first. Huge rejection here coming all the way down. Got picked up by buyers. I'm not sorry, not Norm. Thor picked this up really early on, and was able to get in here and take an opportunity on this LK. So again, LK continues to trade great. Not the best open, kind of like PCG, not as clean. But again, this to me here, guys, when I see this type of candle, this is not a short. This is a very strong signal that the buyers are stepping in and pushing the price right back up. See, look at the 1 minute, how clean that is. Nice, beautiful pull, push up here, comes back, retests the VWAP, and then you have the nice takeoff here. And then for the entire day, it just really grabs on to the 20 moving average. It does hold on to the 9 for a bit, but the 20 was the one you wanted to watch on LK. Later in the day, guys, gets very toppy, becomes a beautiful short right back down to VWAP. I really don't like this type of signal for a short. I like to see, you know, the nice test of a double top on it to head back down. A good strong reverse on the 5 or the 15, something that's a stronger stronger candle. You do get one here, a time frame, excuse me. You do get one here in the 1 minute, but again, that's tough to take a trade off the 1 minute double top there. All right, folks, so that is what we had yesterday. Some notable mentions. BYND also traded very well. Nice short. Apple traded very nice. Beautiful opening range break up here after selling down and then kind of pushing up, squeezing people, and then look from here, it just takes off. And Nike and Uber also traded very well. Uber here does somewhat of an engulfing pattern, not quite, but this here's a strong signal of a reversal. You know, sells back down. The next candle engulfs the previous candle, and then you have this nice push up towards that 37.50. And also Nike traded very well, guys. Look at this nice pop here. If you're looking for a 1 minute opening range breakup, this would have been nice to take. All right, folks, that is what we had yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm doing all right. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late today.
Oh, no
My back
worries.
has gone out and I can barely move, so I'm moving like a
Oh,
slow old man.
oh man, sorry to hear that. Hope you get better.
That's all
Um,
right.
Here we
Thank you.
have our gappers list this morning. Pretty long today, so we'll kind of go through. It looks like
Yeah,
we
it's
might have some Chinese
filling up
news,
for
right?
sure. Well, we've did that, and we're just bouncing back here. SPY is gapping up 1.3%, which is a huge gap for the SPY, really,
Yep.
on heavy volume too. So, that's what's going on there. We've got a ton of earnings this week. Google reported last night, for instance, but a lot of earnings this week.
Hmm.
Today, as far as news goes, just got factory orders at 10 a.m. Not a whole lot of data coming out today.
All right, got you. Thanks for that, man. All right, so let's take a look at our gappers list, guys. I do see a lot of stocks that we know very well here. Some Disney, Snap, AMD, Apple. NNVC has been on fire, constantly active here, so we'll take a look at how that looks today. But first, we're going to start off with, of course, Tesla. So Tesla this morning, guys, it is, let me remove some of these levels. It is up 15% for stock that's trading at 700 bucks. Yesterday, 750.
Absolutely insane.
This is just unbelievable. I have not been day trading for long. I'm going on my third year of trading, and I have never seen anything like this or heard of anything like this in past time. Yeah, we do see low flow stocks like BPTH was one last year that was incredible. Hunt was another one that went from $5 to 80. So we've seen stuff like that. TLRY was another one that went up to, that one was actually pretty crazy. That one went up to, remember, 300 in a matter of minutes and came right back down to
Yeah.
like 80. So that was nuts. So we've seen stuff like this, but an actual reputable company, like this guy's, this is a real company. It's not no low flow stock and things that you can manipulate. To be doing this type of action, I have not seen that type of activity before. So today we are up 15%. Again, highs of 908. It's just, I mean, I don't know what to say. This looks like a video game here. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
never seen anything like it.
I'll, yeah, I'll tell you, this is the mother of all short squeezes. It's still at 17%. This was by dollar value the most shorted stock it has been for a while. Not percentage wise, but dollar value. Um, and right now, it's still reporting, depending on your source. I don't have it in TI, but in FinViz, it's up around 17.5% short. Now, keep
Mm-hmm.
in mind, that's a reporting date of January 15th. So we're 2 weeks behind in the data. The new data for the end of January will report it on the 11th. And this is just, I mean, this thing is killing the shorts.
Oh yeah. Seriously, I mean, if
So,
you are, if you are short bias on this, you're definitely paying the price. I highly doubt that that short in percentage will be anywhere near in the double digits after a day like yesterday. I mean, who is holding short when this thing,
well,
it's just crazy.
yeah, they're not going to have a choice. It's all going to be margin calls.
Yeah.
That's that's part of what's popped this thing up so much. It's crazy to think about. This was my trade yesterday was Tesla. I took a long at the open,
Mm-hmm.
and it's literally $220 above my entry. I was 675 even to the penny, and now it was just at 895 a minute ago.
Wow. Norm, I think you saw a little too
Just
early on
crazy.
that, but that's okay. All right. So that's what it is, guys. We're watching Tesla for sure. Definitely active. 3.3 million shares traded right now, banging his head against that 900 mark there. All right, let's go down over to LK, another one that's been pretty active on our list. They are up nicely too today, 9%. Good volume, 333. You got a nice big candle here with 57,000 shares. But overall, this is still great volume. You can start seeing the ramp up here. Hopefully, this thing can stay steady here, creating a good pre-market activity. So they're bouncing back nicely, guys. They had a huge rejection of this 26 on this day. I remember that sold off the entire morning. In the midday, started kind of crawling back up and kind of recover a lot of it. Yesterday was kind of somewhat of a okay day. You did have a couple of moves on there that were good for the intraday, and today they look like they want to possibly break out of this area and just start heading higher. So looking very good right now in LK. And the good thing about LK, we have been able to take some really good advantage of this stock the last the last couple of months. It's been trading very well. So let's look at SB. Not last couple of months, excuse me, last couple of weeks. SBGL on this list as well. This is up 6.4 this morning. Not the greatest pre-market activity, and actually,
This is a South African gold miner. Just a heads up.
yeah. Once I saw the name, I remember that this is not one that trades very well. So I'm gonna take this off my list. We got plenty on here, guys, today that we can watch. That's gonna be better than this. So again, it's a foreign stock as well, and these mining stocks they don't trade very well unless there's some really significant news. On them. BP is a foreign stock as well, guys. Look at this one here. You see the gaps. You can see the gaps up and down. So again, doesn't trade very well. We'll remove this one. Also, looking at ZM, I believe this is Zoom, right? Yep. So we got Zoom video conferencing here. They had a good day yesterday, 78 or close to around 88, $90. And today they got some volume, 150, 3.7 up so far. Pre-market not looking all that clean, all that neat at the moment. But again, I do like this continuation after a good day yesterday. Did they have earnings yesterday? Norm, is that what caused that?
No, they didn't. This is
Hmm.
related to the coronavirus.
Huh.
You've got some people
Oh.
making some big bets that people are going to be using Zoom because they don't want to go out in public.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of business is going to be done through Zoom, opposed to visiting one of these countries. On top of that, you save on
Yeah,
flight
I mean,
also.
you save on flights and everything else, but a lot of these, I've got a family member that works for Apple,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to spend a ton of time in China, sometimes 3 to 6 months at a time, supervising facilities over there,
Right.
and they can't go.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they're going to have to be spending a ton of time video conferencing and such.
Yeah, managing via the video conferencing. Yep, makes perfect sense. All right, so that's interesting. Could be a good continuation day today, guys. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Volume is starting to creep in. Hopefully, can get a better pre-market activity here. Had a great day yesterday. Just want to see how it actually traded yesterday. Let's go back. Oh man, traded very clean actually yesterday. So
Yep.
it had some good volume. And just look how clean these patterns are yesterday. Again, traded very well. So looking forward to see what Zoom is going to do for us today. Let's look at BABA here. BABA this morning they're up 3.4. Nice gap up on BABA. So this is good to see. At the moment, pre-market activity is not all that great, but this is typical BABA. Usually does not have a great pre-market activity, but it does look like it is in play today with a very nice big gap this morning. Norm, if you have any news on any of these, I know you're catching up. Just stop me, and we can get into the news.
You
If
got it.
not, I'll keep going. We have MU
I
here.
have nothing specific on
Mm-hmm.
Baba. I like I said, I'm running behind, but
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just coming back a little bit from the being hit by the virus and that bounce we talked about yesterday off 200.
Okay, gotcha. Here is MU also bouncing back a bit. Again, a lot of these could be also be bouncing because of the SPY as well. Again, so here this we have MU gapping up 2.9. Not the greatest pre-market activity. Barely has any volume. Only 104,000 shares traded. Could be a good possible. So we'll keep it on here. But MU really hasn't been trading all that well in the intraday. So I'm not a fan of keeping it on the list. If we have something better to trade, we have JD coming up here above MU. Let's bring that in. So JD at the moment. So JD is a little funny. JD could have the worst pre-market activity, and it can put in, it's a hit or miss. It could put in a really good trading day, a really good open. We saw that a couple of days ago. Again, the pre-market activity was horrible. I took it off my list, but you guys were able to capitalize on a really good move. So we'll keep it on here. We'll do some levels for it. Obviously up to 2.7 this morning. Doesn't have the greatest pre-market activity. Does have some volume above 100K. But again, just one of those stocks that sometimes might not give you the best opportunity. Let's look at PE this morning. So this one is an energy stock. Doesn't trade well. Looks like a couple of block trades here. No pre-market activity. We'll skip this one. Let's head down over to AMD. This list continues to grow. AMD here has some good volume, guys. 541 this morning. Pre-market activity is not all that great. A lot of that volume sitting on this one candle here, but also gapping up 2.5, very similar to MU. But I'd rather watch AMD this morning because it has a lot more volume. So I'm going to take off MU, or maybe we just move MU down here as a possible. But AMD will be the one I watch when it comes to these semiconductors. Good volume, good activity right now. Not the best pre-market action in regards to range and flow here, but overall gapping up nicely as everything else seems to be doing as well. A lot of green on the screen today. This is why this gappers list is so huge. So I really want to focus on the ones that are not doing well today, because obviously the market's doing well. So these got to be interesting. There's got to be some catalyst that's pushing these things down. We'll take a look at those in a sec. Let's go over to Snap. What do we have on Snap here? Now, Snap is a stock, guys, that I rarely keep on my list. It is very choppy. It barely moves as well. It's one of those stocks that can take a while to make a really good move. To get 20 cents out of it can take, a very long time unless there's some significant news in play. They're up 2.3 this morning. This is actually very small volume for Snap, guys. 190,000 shares is very small. Usually Snap trades the volume number of shares traded on Snap are usually very, very high. On average, they're doing about 31 million shares traded. Usually in the morning, they have already, 1.1 or 2.5 million shares traded if they're going to be in play. Obviously, today it's just moving with the market. So the volume is very light. For that reason, I'm not going to put it on my list. If you guys see something special about this one, kick it out to us and we'll definitely take a look at it again. GILD. This one we had on our list yesterday. Didn't trail that well, though. Yesterday, so I'm not sure.
It really doesn't trade well.
Yeah, it doesn't trade well, so I'm not gonna add it on my list. So we're just gonna move on from this one. Disney's one that trades very good when it's in play. Today's up 2.2. Actually has an okay pre-market activity. I do like this little uptrend it's got going on here, gapping up 2.3, some 144,000 shares traded. We are sitting right at a level of support. The price action is right on there, using that probably as resistance at the moment. So again, I think I like Disney. I'm gonna keep this one on here.
They report earnings tonight.
Okay, good. All right, so let's see what's the sentiment going into the earnings. Reporting on the earnings tonight. Here is Apple, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on there. Apple this morning, again, kind of similar to the AMD MUs of the world. This thing is gapping up a bit, 2.1. Not doing anything much too exciting, but I do like the volume. Now these candles are kind of messing things up a little bit. You actually do have a nice little range here between 315.50 and 315, but these candles are making things look a little bit more worse than what they actually are. So you do have some kind of flow happening here. But I do like the volume on Apple. This is heavy volume for Apple, so this is worth taking a look at and having on our list, maybe even a secondary if at that. Make some room over here. Let's head down over to Teva. So let's see what's got going on with Teva. So Teva this morning, all right, we got some volume on it, 238,000 shares traded. Not the best pre-market activity, and this is also light volume for Teva. Teva trades a lot on a regular basis, and when they're in play, they're hitting that 50 million shares traded throughout the day. But today, they do seem to be doing something. It seems very choppy in actual pre-market. They had a great day yesterday, so it could be a good continuation today. We can put it down here next to MU as a possible. Right now, they're not looking all that great. All right, so here we have... let's get into some of the stuff that's gapping down. So we have Google. Obviously, you mentioned they had earnings yesterday, Norm.
Yep, they reported earnings last night. I love trading high price stocks, but once you start getting, over $1,000, $1,500, it doesn't make a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of sense to me usually.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
haven't dug into it a ton.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same here. I'm not a fan of these neither of these higher price stocks. So if you do like these higher price stock, this is one that's definitely in play today. It's got a great. We'll do some levels for it now because I'm not going to come back to it. It has a great level right on it that's kind of trying to hold here. Actually, at the bottom of this, they hit 1420. We could put that down. They also got another nice level here of possible support and resisting around 1396 and a moving average down here. Towards the top, you got plenty highs and lows on here already. So again, this is one to watch if you're interested in that type of price range. All right, let's head down over to CT. LT. This one it is down 4.7. Doesn't have a good pre-market activity. Does have some volume. Had a really bad day yesterday. Not sure what the stock is. The daily chart doesn't look all that great. So again, not Norm. What's the news with this one?
They reported earnings yesterday morning, and also along with that, there was a secondary offering on it.
Mm,
So that is what caused yesterday, and I think it's just continuing.
okay. All right, just take a look at how it actually traded yesterday. Yeah, see, yesterday you don't have a really good trading day at all, even with that news. So it did drop down, but look how it's just gapped up here, then drops down again. This is not the type of stock you want to be trading. Also, overall, just look at the volume. I just noticed that too. Really under a million shares traded on a regular basis. So we'll skip this one. Let's head down to NNVC. This is one that's been pretty active. This is a low flow stock. Just look at the daily the last couple of days. For that reason alone, I'm just not going to bother with this stock, guys. So again, just be very careful if you are going to trade this stock today. This is one that is a low flow stock, 2 million shares on the float. So just be very cautious of it this morning. But it is the low flow that has traded somewhat decent. I've seen you guys take a couple of trades on here that have worked out pretty nice. Andrew himself has taken a couple of trades on here and worked out pretty well. So again, just be very cautious. I'm not going to add it to my list because most likely with what I have today, I am not going to watch this one here. Just kind of skimming through, see if we miss anything. BHP, I know that's a foreign company, so let me just make sure. I'm going to top of my head, but I
Yeah,
believe
it
it
is.
is. Yeah, it is. And then it's another one, SQM. I don't know this one. SQM. Uh,
I'm not. It's Chilean.
yeah, block trade here, so
Um,
nothing good there.
yeah,
All right, guys, let's fly through the Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. Tesla, we had DGLY. We've seen it here before, more of a penny stock, usually not tradable. VXRT was here yesterday, nothing good here. Penny stock, Nasdaq ETS. Microsoft, see what Microsoft is up to. Oh, okay. Microsoft is a bit interesting here. Microsoft's been doing very well over the last couple of months, guy. And then they had earnings. They gapped down a little bit, but they actually had good earnings, strong earnings, and they're up right now 1.5 with some good volume for. Oh, but it's a block trade. We got a huge block trade here on Microsoft, almost 522,000 shares traded. So that's what's costing some of this movement here. So not all that great, but the daily though, the daily looks interesting. So I am gonna add it here as a possible because I do like the daily for a possible breakout. Maybe mid afternoon we can check into Microsoft and see what's going on there. But a nice gap here, 1.5, huge block trade of 522. But you do have some kind of activity this morning. All right, head down to AMD. We do have on our list. Apple we have, and we know ONTX is garbage, more of a penny stock. Nasdaq gainers, DGLY, no good. ALLT, this one has really no volume at the moment. GLNG, no activity. Tesla we have. CTIC, no good. EYPT, no good neither. Surf, it's not doing anything, no volume. And CJJD, also not great. ONCS, not looking good, and LK we do have on our list. So that's what that looks like. Norm, what do you like this morning aside from what we have?
Um, Nvidia, but I'll tell you, I'm gonna have my eye on it because, like you were saying, the semis are popping up pretty hard this morning. You're gonna pick AMD over MU. I'm gonna take Nvidia.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yep,
and it since has popped up on gappers. I don't think it was up there before. There's a block trade on that one as well. It
yep.
just popped up since we've gone through it. Other than that, I'm going to thin down the list we have. I'm going to be very cautious because a lot of this stuff is just simply trading with the market,
Mhm,
um,
mhm.
and this big bounce on SPY we're getting. So
Yeah, yep, I agree. This is why we're getting so much green sometimes, guys. Here, because the SPY is moving up. And on these type of days, you got to be picky because it's more. I'd rather have a smaller list that's more precise to what's actually in play, opposed to when the market is gapping up and then you have this whole entire list you have to dissect. Now, obviously, you're going to take out some of the stuff that doesn't trade well, right? Any foreign stock, anything that looks bad, or anything that you have traded in the past that you have not been successful in reading the price action. Maybe, that stuff you take off. But overall, it's one of those days where you have to be really, really patient. Also, wait that 5-15 minutes. See what the trend is going to be. If the SPY does squeeze here, starts heading higher, then you can actually find a play in a stock that doesn't even have a catalyst, like a AMD, a MU. These stocks will follow the SPY if we decide to go back up to this high, all-time high here. So just be patient, wait that 5 minutes and see what happens there. All
I
right,
am kind of sad though, Carlos, and that is because I am not going to put Tesla on my list. And since the beginning of the year, I've made more in Tesla than anything else. Period.
I was gonna
But I
say,
just I got to tell you, man, I don't know how you manage risk in something that's gapping up over $110.
yeah, it's
And
very difficult.
I was watching it this morning, and in 10 seconds it would move up and down $10.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just doesn't make much sense to me.
And this is also, I'm looking at the spread now on a different screen. I mean, the spread also, it's pretty tight on Tesla for a stock that's trading at 891. So
Or
it's pretty
yeah, I mean,
impressive.
yeah, it's 50 cents or a dollar at times, but nevertheless, I mean, for something that's
Hmm.
$900, that's really not that much.
Yeah, yep, agreed, agreed.
I mean, that's like a 8 to 10 cent spread on $100 stock, which isn't great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. All right, guys, what do you guys have on your end? Let's start with our chat room here. Let's take a look. What do you guys are watching that is not already on this list that you might like? All right, Tesla, we have. Whoops, not sure what happened. Oh, this thing happened here. All right, bring that back. Here we go. All right, here we go. Uber. Let's see what Uber did. Uber traded yet well yesterday. Uber has a great daily, guys. Pre-market activity is not looking all that great, but that's typical Uber for you. But the daily looks good, guys. We're banging our head against this 38 level right on here. This is a good possible. I'm gonna add it on here above Microsoft. I think this could be a good one today for us. As a good indication of a possible breakout here. Again, pre-market doesn't look great. The volume is not is it's actually pretty decent, 259, so that's good. But we'll see. We'll see what Uber does here. SQ. We haven't looked at SQ in some time. Let's see what SQ is up to. So SQ this morning had a big day yesterday. Not much going on right now. It does have some volume, but pretty choppy. But again, it could be just some of it because of the SPY is up slightly, but not doing much. Also, a lot of the volume, guys. Just notice this here. Look at this huge candle here. A big block trade there on SQ. So I won't be putting that on my list. SBGL we looked at, guys. So SBGL, that is a foreign stock. SBGL. So it's a foreign stock. This is why we're not keeping it on our list. It doesn't trade very well, so I'm just going to avoid this one, especially since we have some other really good ones that we have traded in the past and been very successful at reading the price action. Let's look at BYND this morning. Bring this up. All right, so here it is. BYND. It's got a decent pre-market activity, selling down a bit now. Light on the volume, though. I'm used to seeing BYND with some heavy volume. I'm really not seeing that right now. The daily chart is also getting a little bit crappy. We couldn't break out of this 125. We couldn't break out of 135. And you're sitting at a support here. So if it can lose the support, you do have a target right here, and you also have another target right there. So that's BYND for you. I'm not gonna add it to my list. Doesn't look like it's heavily in play today as some of this other stuff, but it does have an interesting daily. I mean, it's pretty crappy within here, but within this crap, you can see how well some of these levels have held up, right? So you have the 135 that couldn't break. You have 125 gave this thing a very tough time. You have the highs and lows from the last two trading days, and then you have this major support here that it was able to hold for these 3 days here, right? It was able to hold, get another squeeze all the way up to 135. Again, more consolidation here, and then now kind of giving some back, holding this 106. So interesting to see what it's going to do there, guys. It can go either way. It can bounce from here, give you a good move, or if it loses this, you do have some potential with a lot of room down here for you to go to. So BYND could be a good possible, guys, if you do have space on your list. Let's look over here. WW, I'm getting that one a lot on YouTube. The chat, so WW this morning, which is Weight Watchers, now named WW International. So they're gapping up quite a bit, 7.2. No volume at the moment, only 41,000 shares traded. but this is a nice big gap for them. I don't know if this is because of the SPY or do they have separate news.
They got
But
an upgrade out of Goldman.
yeah, so this could be a good possible. I like the way this is gapping up here. We do have some good levels we can put on there, so this could be a good possible. I'm not gonna have it on my main list just because the volume is so light right now. As we get closer to that 9:30 time frame, if the volume picks up, we can definitely take a look at it. Um, ALLT we looked at, guys. This was on our Nasdaq gainer, so this one here starting to get going now. Still doesn't have great volume, guys. Only 56,000 shares traded. It is up 21%. But again, not really a lot of volume on here. And also, this is very important, guys. You want to look, how does this trade? Look at the bottom down here. Look at the regular volume of this stock, right? For the entire day, this thing has never, in the last 3-4 months, has traded over 1 million shares, right? So I just kind of tell you what kind of liquidity you're going to have here, what kind of action you're going to have here. This type of stock, we need more volume, right? This could be easily manipulated, so just be very cautious with stocks that are trading this light volume here. RL, let's take a look at that. RL.
You're being asked to expand your gappers because it's not showing everything.
Yes, yes. Let's move this down here, and then we can expand this all the way down here. Here we go. Yeah, I don't think I have enough screen to cover everything, but I'll take the two top off, which is Tesla and LK. You guys know those are there already, and then you can see the whole entire list right on here. Nike's popping up. That could be a good one to watch. Let's take a look
It's a
at
block
that.
trade.
As a block trade, so no good there. PDD. PDD not doing all that much right now. Again, this list is only going to get worse and worse, guys, as we get closer to 9:15. Again, with the market doing a nice pretty move here, a lot of these stocks are going to be doing the same thing, looking for the move as well. As they start hitting that 100K, you're going to see a lot of stocks getting on this gappers list. All right, folks, that is what we have. Let's get over to announcements, and then we'll come back and do some support and resistance here. Let's do.
I'm gonna fly through these because I know you're gonna have a lot to go through.
Yep.
Guys, right now we just yesterday announced our Valentine's discount. So right now you can use the promo code LOVE for 40% off lifetime membership, the single payment option, not the installment deal. Also, our forums are a great resource for everything from DAS to hotkeys to people journal in there, keep a accountability journal and stuff. You don't have to be a member to or you don't have to be a paying member to utilize that. You can get a forum membership, which is free. Just sign up and post in the forums and be part of the community that way if you'd like to. You guys in the chat room noticed that the call out tab has been changed. It really wasn't utilized because that's kind of what the main chat is anyway. And we're evolving these tabs, trying to see what fits. So we have the options tab now. Change that to the options tab. Success webinars. Tonight is Jonathan Katz, psychologist. He's going to be talking about mental prep and routine. Next Wednesday, 4 p.m. is Mike Bellafiore of SMB Capital. Email went out yesterday talking about that and throwing out a couple of videos to watch in preparation for it. Then the 19th and 26th two-part series from Ed Martin from Average Joe Trader will be discussing trend trading. Andrew's trying to get to the Middle East sometime in February, so check Abiel's link to the forum post. Figure out, he's talking about Dubai at some point. You guys figure out a date and a venue. And if you're watching us on YouTube, haven't tried us out in the room and would like to see if it's a good fit for you, you can do so at a discount for a week. Use the promo code PREMARKET24 for the trial membership. It's 1 week, does not auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Also, you can tune in to pictures of Andrew trading, Carlos's jokes, or me just being a smartass. If you follow us on Twitter at Bearable Traders, at Carlos MBBT, or at Norm BBT.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Norm. All right, so let's take a look at this one more because I was doing that one and then we switched gears. RL, someone mentioned that, so we'll do this one as the last one on here. So RL, guys, I really do not like this daily. Right, this daily is very, very choppy, guys. So again, just be cautious with this one. This is a stock doesn't trade very well unless there's some significant news. Right now, I think with only 25,000 shares being traded, you do not have any news. This is just probably gapping up because of the market, really. So Unless there's any earnings or anything else coming up, we'll have to see how this trades. Also, keep in mind it is a nicey stock, so it could have a very bad pre-market activity. I'm not familiar with Ralph Lawrence and how they trade the intraday, but overall, this daily does not look all that exciting. Could be a good possible, but as far as for the open, I don't think it has a good pre-market activity and a good volume for you to have on your main watch list. Let's take a look at what we have, guys. Let's go through here, get some levels, and we'll skim through our gappers list here and see if there's anything else that popped up that might look decent for us to look at. All right, let's look at Tesla. So obviously, guys, Tesla is all-time high, sitting at 900 and 908, I believe. Here we go, 908 is all-time high. So we'll do that level there, and then the other level will be. It's funny, this chart is looking a little funky here. The bottom of this level will be 881, so that is the low of the pre-market right now at 881. So again, not really anything you can do with levels, guys. Here, any type of trade you take here is really will be more of a scalp. You don't have levels to go off. You have to really look at the price action. Managing the risk is going to be a little bit tougher on a stock that's priced this high and that's moving between 10, 20, 30, $50 in a matter of minutes. So just be cautious with that. I'm going to have it on here. I am most likely not going to trade this, but I just want to have it in a corner so I can see the action really. But I will not be trading this stock. I just don't see how I can find a good type of trade. I think a lot of it's going to be based on sentiment, what people think in regards to, is it going to drop now? Is it going to go up now? And I just don't think you're going to find some good technicals off the bat on this one, right? So that's just my thoughts on it. A great volume right now, 4 million shares traded. It's up 13%. I mean, this thing has just been a monster over the last couple of days, really. Here's LK. LK has been trading very well, guys. Our high of our pre-market is now sitting at 34.22, so we'll mark that there. Below that, you do have your previous day close, and you do have some highs and lows sitting down here. Low of the pre-market at 31.75, so I'll mark that down. And then towards the top, you have two highs from yesterday and the day before covering you for all the way up to 36.25. And then slightly above that, you have a beautiful level here, which been tested several times, 39.72. And we know LK can make that move happen. I know it seems like a stretch, but we see LK have some really good days when it is in play. So this level nicely here being tested as resistance, then support and resistance on here. More support, more resistance. So that 39.72 is a good level to have. Now in between here, in between this action here, you really do not have any major levels, right? You do have some days you got some wicks on here you can mark down, but as far as major levels like this one where you have a change in direction, right, a clear change in direction, you do not have on here. So I'm not going to mark any levels between there. I think your next best level is 36.25, and then after that 39.72. Here is Zoom this morning. So Zoom putting in a good pre-market activity. Is getting better here. It's got a nice range to it. Our high of our pre-market sitting at 91.48 on Zoom. So I'm going to mark that down. Towards the bottom, you got your highs and lows from the last two trading days. Also previous day close. So I think you have plenty of levels towards the bottom here. Let's go over to the left and see what we find here. This is a pretty choppy daily action on Zoom, guys. Look at this. It's very choppy on here. But within this chop, you do kind of see a level that's could not get above 96. 96 seems to be a place where it has a hard time getting above that. When it did get above that, it did use it as support for a couple of days until it kind of broke down. But again, this is very, very choppy stuff. But this 96 looks very good because you do have several days just really having a very tough time while it's doing through this choppy consolidation. Above that, you have another level here at 137. I'm sorry, that's 137 cents. And then another one on here at 104, 104.53. This one we can move up all the way up here at 107. So plenty of levels towards the top, guys, on Zoom here. Towards the bottom, just in case we lose this previous day close, I don't think that's going to happen the way this thing closed yesterday and the way it's kind of opening up today. We might come down, probably test the lows and the high from yesterday, but I don't think we'll break the previous day close. You do have another level here at 85. This is a great level. Look at the stop, the loss of momentum on both days here. And then you have a nice test of this level of resistance before we head right back down to this area down here again. Here is Baba, guys. Baba also gapping up nicely, 3.3 this morning. High of our pre-market sitting at 221.20, so we'll mark that down. Above that, you do have a beautiful level here, obviously very clear, 231.20. In between here, guys, you really have, this is the thing about Baba. It doesn't put in good daily charts for the most part. There's no really good levels in here. You can mark down 225. That's a whole dollar number, and you do have some days kind of, testing that. But again, it's not a very strong level like this one is 231. It's a very clean level. This one here, 220. 221, which is the high of the pre-market. If you draw a thicker line on there, you can see how clean that level is also, right? You have resistance, support, and you have more resistance. I'm sorry, support and resistance on that 220 forward level. So that's a good one to have. Towards the bottom, low of the pre-market sitting at 218.54, so we'll mark that down. And then below that, you got the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Here is JD. So JD has a bad pre-market activity, but I am going to put levels on this one because JD tends to do this. And if the SPY does rip, JD tends to follow and could put in a good day. So we have 40.01, we have 40.94, high of our pre-market 40.52, and the low sitting at a 39.92. So 2 levels on that we can mark. Also, one question that I got that I get often, I got it actually yesterday as well, is why I do not use the auto levels, the auto pre-market levels. There's a reason for that, and if I'm nothing wrong with doing that, but if you want to do that, look at Thor's recap yesterday. He goes over how you can put these levels to automatically appear for you. So for example, if the price action goes above, let's say this, let's move this, hold on a second. And again, that has so many features, guys, you want to take advantage of. So let's say the price action is here, right, the high of the pre-market. Let's say the next candle, this one here, goes above that. It will automatically move that level and upgrade it to 40.58. So that's a great feature if you want to do that. I personally tend not to do that because sometimes these levels, although we might break through 40.55, it can come back and test that level later in the day. So I don't want that level to move from there. It's my reason for not doing that. Also, if you notice some of these levels like 40.55, you can see that I do have some daily activity that matches up with that. If that keeps moving, then I lose a track of what the high was and where we can have some resistance when we have the open of the market. So again, just keep that in mind. But again, if you do not mind that, definitely get that auto set up so it can do it for you. Here is AMD, guys. AMD this morning. Let me see what we have here. So we really have plenty of levels already. Let's remove some. I'm gonna mark down the high of the pre-market at 49.80. So we'll mark that down. Above that, we do have 50.84, and then one all the way up here at 52.80. So we'll mark those 2 levels. Towards the bottom, you have plenty. I don't think you need to add any more down there. Here is Disney. Disney's putting in a good pre-market activity, starting to get a lot of volume going here. Let's get some good levels for it. So our high of our pre-market right now sitting at 145.39. This looks like it's going to crack any minute, but above that we do have 148. It's a very clean level here, several days bouncing off of that and heading back down. Within this area, I don't see anything clean as far as levels. You can see it's very choppy in here. You don't have a very good daily chart to put levels on there. If you go more back to the left, you do have some other areas where you're having a change in direction on here, and also all the way up here at 152.86 you do have 3 days testing that as resistance. They cannot break out and they start heading back down. And then towards the bottom, guys, plenty of level highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Do not need to add any more on there. Here is Apple. Apple as well is going to be one to watch. They have some good volume, 589. As far as levels, I think the only one I'm going to add is this one really here at 318. Going back to this day here, we got some resistance there. Several days closing and opening around that level. Also this one here finding resistance around that level, and above that you have your highs from the last 2 trading days, and obviously you want to mark the all-time high 327.91 or so. All right, guys, that is what we have. Then we have some possibles. We have Weight Watchers, we have Uber, we have Microsoft, we have Teva on here, and MU. I'm going to be looking out for these to hit our turbo breakup scanner, turbo breakdown. If we see something interesting on there, I'll definitely tune into those. So just to recap, guys, we have Tesla, we have LK, we have Zoom here, we have JD, we have AMD on this list, Disney, and also Apple as well. So that will be my list. I'm going to fine tune this a little more, but I want to wait to get closer to 9:30. I want to watch about 6 of these stocks. I know Tesla for sure. I'm just watching just for entertainment, guys. I am not going to be trading this one. So my 6 would probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I got to decide which other one I'm going to drop. And actually, I know exactly which one I'm going to drop. Is Baba, because I am not a great trader of Baba. So I'm going to take Baba off, and I'm going to move Tesla here as my entertainment stock for the day. And here we are. That's my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. All right, guys. Not the best list that we have seen. I'm gonna close this here, make this a little longer, see what else we have going on. Not the best watch list that we have seen, and that is due because again, look how much green we have here because of the SPY. So there's a lot of stuff that's being mixed in with that is not really in play on its own. You do have some stocks here that are actually red gapping down, but we went through some of these. They don't look all that great. So today's going to be one of those days we really want to wait to see what's going to happen because any of these stocks that are following the SPY, keep a SPY chart up and make sure you're not going against it. If you're going to be taking a long position, if the SPY is going to be strong for the day. So just be aware that that's something you want to keep in mind today. All right, guys. Is there anything else, Norm, that we might have missed? Nicole, GILD. So this one we looked at earlier. The issue with GILD was in play yesterday, or at least in our list yesterday. It doesn't trade very well. If you look at the intraday trading yesterday, it was very choppy. The action was not clean. So it's one of those stocks that really does not trade very well. So I'm just going to keep this one off my list. We have some other ones here that can trade very well, have a good intraday trading activity. These would be better to watch this morning. But again, does not mean that it cannot have a great day. Put it on your secondary list and see if you're able to get a good indication of a pattern off that chart. CCL. Let's see what CCL is doing. It's here on our gappers list. Yeah, it's not doing much. See, everything is coming up now, even with some really weak volume. You're starting to get some of these stocks that are not really in play. Don't really have a good pre-market activity, but just because they're gapping up quite a bit because of the SPY. And I'm assuming there's going to be some other ones like that on here as well. Yeah, I do have Microsoft. I do have Microsoft here as a possible. I think it could have a good breakout. It's got some great volume, although 522 of that thousand is sitting on this block trade here, but it does have a good daily here and a possible continuation for today. So I definitely have that on my list. All right, guys. Thank you guys on YouTube for joining us. Take care. Have a great trading day today. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. I just put out on Twitter while I was muted and you were putting levels on here. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know if I'll trade today. It's a
Mm-hmm.
huge gappers list. Frankly, I'm not in love with anything.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So
I
we'll
agree.
see. It'll be interesting.
This is not the best list we've seen for sure. And the fact is that you really got to keep an eye on the SPY. If the SPY takes off and squeezes hard, you can possibly get a scalp on any of these, right? But overall, for opening range breakup, which I love, I'm really going to be very, very picky on a day like today. So I suggest guys you
Yeah.
do the same. Wait 5-15 minutes. If things settle in and they trend nicely, you could take advantage of it. But right now, a lot of these stocks they're gapping up with again just no good indication of being in play today. So just be cautious.
Oh, and one last thing I wanted to say. I just wanted to say happy birthday to Donovan, who joins us every day on YouTube.
Donovan, yes, Donovan is a faithful YouTube viewer. So Donovan, happy birthday. I think he's the first one on there almost every morning. So thank you, we
You got
appreciate
it.
that.
Take care, guys.
All right, take care, guys. Trade safe.